Hello and welcome to This Explainer. I'm Michelle, and I am so incredibly glad you're here with us today. If you're joining me right now, chances are that you or maybe an aging parent or a loved one are considering a really significant life transition, selling the family home later in life. Today, we're going to walk through some essential questions you absolutely need to ask before selling your home after 50. My goal here is simply to be your trusted advisor, to help you navigate this thoughtfully, and to present everything in a way that feels calm, organized, and truly empowering. Okay, let's dive right in. Because here is the honest truth. Selling a home after 50 is not like selling a home at 35. Think back to when you bought your first or second place. You were probably laser focused on career growth, or maybe finding the best school districts, right? But now, the financial stakes are often much higher, and the emotional weight is just undeniably greater. The decisions you're making right now are going to shape your next chapter in ways that go far beyond just signing a real estate contract. So, if you're sitting there feeling a bit overwhelmed or even hesitant, please know that your feelings are completely normal, and honestly, they're entirely justified. So let's start by looking at Section 1, Emotional and Lifestyle Readiness, and finding your why. This brings us to a beautifully simple but incredibly profound question. Why do you actually want to move? It sounds obvious, I know, but you'd be amazed by how many people skip this step entirely. I really encourage you to get very, very honest with yourself about the real reason behind this transition before you ever let yourself worry about listing prices or exactly when you should start packing boxes. It's absolutely crucial to figure out which of these common lifestyle factors is actually driving your decision. Is it the maintenance? Like, is taking care of a large yard and an older home just becoming too much of a burden? Is the house simply too big for you now? Perhaps you have some new financial goals for your retirement, or maybe, and this is a big one, it's a deep desire to be closer to your kids and grandkids. Getting crystal clear on your specific why is like finding your anchor. It matters so much because holding on to that why will carry you through literally any logistical challenge you might face later on. And we absolutely cannot skip over this next part. You have to give yourself permission to feel it. Selling a family home is rarely just a financial transaction. For most of us, the memories tied to a house are just so deeply ingrained. It's the birthdays, the holidays, or even just those ordinary Tuesday evenings that somehow became the memories you cherish the most. Leaving all that behind can bring up a lot of unexpected feelings. But taking things at your own pace and acknowledging those emotions doesn't mean you aren't ready to move. It actually means you are beautifully prepared for what's next. Moving smoothly right along to Section 2, getting your financial clarity and really knowing your position. Let's look at some real numbers to help you understand where you might stand. $410,000. According to Redfin data, that was the median sale price for Chicago area homes in March of 2026, which was actually up 5.1% from the previous year. What's more, homes were averaging just 50 days on the market. Now don't worry, we aren't backing a moving truck into your driveway today. A strong market only really matters if the timing is right for your life. But understanding these numbers helps you see your potential equity position. You might actually have options you didn't even realize were on the table. Which leads us directly to this really essential question. What are you going to do with the proceeds? You'd be surprised, but this catches a lot of folks totally off guard. Selling a longtime family home usually releases a significant amount of equity. Having a solid plan for those funds before you sell puts you in a much stronger, much more confident position. Are you planning to buy a smaller, cozier home? Maybe rent in a vibrant new community? Or perhaps you'll invest the funds or use them to comfortably supplement your retirement income? And as we're planning for those proceeds, we definitely have to talk about taxes. Here's a really neat breakdown of the IRS capital gains exclusions for primary residences. Single filers can generally exclude up to $250,000 in capital gains, and married couples filing jointly can exclude up to $500,000. It is a fantastic benefit. But keep in mind, gains above those thresholds may be taxable. For instance, Illinois taxes gains at a flat rate of 4.95% on amounts above that exclusion. So understanding this early on can make a very meaningful difference in your planning. All right, let's transition into Section 3, the logistics of leaving and building your support team. You might be walking around your house asking yourself, is my home actually ready to sell? And yes, presentation definitely matters. But before you start any major renovations, I want you to look at your home with fresh eyes. The real goal here is to identify updates that genuinely add value versus the ones that might end up costing you way more than they return. You absolutely do not need to overhaul your entire house. You just need to make strategic, smart enhancements. Then comes the very real, very practical challenge. What do you do with the things that aren't going with you? Downsizing decades of belongings, the sorting, donating, gifting, and packing, can feel incredibly overwhelming. But here is the single most important thing I want you to remember. You do not have to do this alone. There are gentle, methodical ways to let go of items responsibly. Seriously, you don't have to be an expert in everything, because a dedicated professional support team already exists just waiting to help you. A senior real estate specialist, or SRES, deeply understands the unique needs of homeowners over 50. When you combine their expertise with a trusted financial advisor, a knowledgeable CPA, and a senior move manager who can physically coordinate all that downsizing and packing, suddenly this monumental task becomes a smooth, fully supported, step-by-step process. And that brings us to our fourth and final section, defining personal success for your next chapter. Because success isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. For some people, success absolutely means maximizing that final sale price. But for others, it might mean moving on a very specific timeline so you can be there for a grandchild's birth. Or it might mean minimizing stress above all else. Or just ensuring a really smooth transition for the adult children who are helping you out. Identifying your specific primary goal is what builds your confidence and actively prevents you from second-guessing yourself along the way. So let's just sit with this question for a moment. What does success actually look like for you? Take a quiet second to really reflect on that. When all the boxes are finally unpacked in your beautiful new space, what will make you look back and say, you know what? We did the right thing and we did it the exact right way. Ultimately, that is what this whole process is all about. We want to ensure you feel informed, empowered, and truly supported at every single stage of this journey. You don't have to have all the answers today. Just take these questions one at a time, talk them through with the people you love, and know that there are dedicated professionals and community resources ready to guide you whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for spending this time with me during our explainer today. I am wishing you clarity, peace, and so much excitement for your beautiful next chapter. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. What is the very first small step you're going to take today to start planning the life you want tomorrow?